people to practice what emperors used to do. An 8 times difference in salary of a person who's earning just $1 or $2 a day can make a huge difference. We are too much obsessed about furthering India's economic growth and don't pause to think about the society. It's great that India's economy is booming, but a country's success is determined by how it treats its citizens. If someone's primary motive is concern for human poverty and suffering, one would seek to discover the real cause for it. One would not fail to ask, why do some people in India have a lot of money while others do not? Why some people in our country have achieved material abundance while others remain stagnant in subhuman misery? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jitin Sharma and an Indian too, standing right in front of you. I welcome you all to my country, India, where total capital of 36 Indian capitalists have 25% of total GNP. According to the National Sample Survey report, daily income of 10% of the rural population is just rupees 10. 1/3 of the rural population is living on rupees 12. In urban areas, 30% of the urban population is living on rupees 19, out of which 10% is living on just rupees 13. Now, take a moment out and look at the per capita income in India of rupees 31,998 and compare it with the last words of wisdom. You would find a great disparity between the rich and the poor. It is of course no doubt that there has been an increase in the richer section of the society, but on the other hand, there has been an increase in the gap too. This gap is a never-ending gap called income inequality. For the vast majority of poor people in India, it's not a question of accumulating wealth. Rather, it's a question of surviving with a full stomach today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow. Rich are getting richer, and poor are getting helpless in India. I asked you a question of no denial that such a huge income inequality exists in India, my dear friends. Can India fly? The income inequality and inflation has made the condition of poor people in India from bad to worse. A question which arises in my mind and my mother too. Why the prices of onions and potatoes are increasing, whereas the prices of other FMCG goods are decreasing? The rising food prices are impacting the non-urban residents more than their urban counterparts. Though inflation in India still remains much lower than many other developing countries, the prices are rising more than fast as in China. The wholesale price index has accelerated to 6% in March 2007 from 4% last year. In January 2007, the food prices were 10% higher than a year ago. The poor people with total steady income are still spending more than 80% of their income on basic necessities like food. He takes less groceries back home due to inflation. What you need to make a home? Bricks, cement, and a lot of love. And that's what people did in Narmada Valley too. Most of the poor people don't have access to proper cement and bricks. The only thing which they have, which makes their house a home, is love. I am not against any kind of infrastructure development in India. It is necessary for a country to grow, but not at a cost where 40 million people have been displaced since independence from their houses just because of dams. I asked you a question. For how many hours in a day is there electricity at your home? We do understand the need of energy for a hungry, energy deficient India, but is the method of taking lands, homes and livelihood correct? Promises made for a fresh new beginning. But is it easy for an old couple of 60-year-olds to have a new beginning in life? A very old saying, promises are made to be broken. And that's exactly what our government has done. A promise of a land for a land. A promise of a home for a home. Enough waters in canals for farmers to irrigate their land. And a promise of electricity at home. And guess who are affected the most? The bottom of the shining pyramid today, the poor. You can take houses for special economic zones, you can take houses for dams, you can take houses for any infrastructure development. Because I'm a proud Indian and I want my country to grow, where my country loses 2% of economic growth every year just because of poor infrastructure. But at the same time, look at the other side of the coin and have a heart for the 40 million who have been displaced from their homes just because of dams. And just hope that our government takes care of them in this whole show of Can India Fly? Thank you. Sachi for further.